This is Boolossus, essentially an army of boos that have meshed themselves together to form one gigantic evil boo. In this fight, there are a few important things to keep in mind. First off, you want to make sure that this boo reaches the top of the horn of the unicorn statue in order to break apart. That is the only way you're going to be able to capture all the boos individually. Once it does break apart, you want to go ahead and fire your ice element that is given to you right here on the balcony. That is the only way that you are going to make the boos vulnerable in order to capture them. Well, they will essentially just be frozen. Also, if you can do one of two things in order for the big boo to break apart. You can either wait for it to jump and leap and lunge at you, eventually lunging at the top of the horn of the unicorn to break apart, or you can just take matters into your own hands and use Poltergust 3000 in order to get a grasp on it to maneuver it yourself, making it a lot easier. I'm going to say this is the method I always use in order to beat this boss. But as you can see, the more boos that you capture, the smaller the gigantic boo is going to get. Eventually, it'll get to the point where they can't even form into a gigantic boo. My main tactic with doing this, you want to make sure you're using the normal hose function of the Poltergust 3000 to draw the boos towards you, and then once they are very close, punch the heck out of that ice expel button because they will freeze the moment they get close to you. It is the fastest method of taking down this boss, and as you can see, I think we have it down to just a few boos here, and it is not really even forming that big anymore. It's essentially just the size of 3 boos put together, which isn't that large compared to just a normal size boo. I can't believe I'm actually getting this done pretty quickly. I thought this was going to take me a lot longer to do. But this method of using the Poltergust 3000 vacuum function and then quickly changing to the ice function once they get close is the best method I can think of, especially if you're going for a gold frame, of course. The Boolossus boss is very challenging to get a gold frame, so keep it in mind. You want to make sure you're keeping your health at least 90. But that was the last 2 boos, and that is the end of Area 3. We have a nice, beautiful, giant treasure chest just spawning in the middle of the balcony. Get a nice, one nice final view of the outside of this area here. Again, I have to say, I love this freaking balcony. Nice shot with the moon in the backdrop. Gotta love it. Now it is time to collect our prize. And it is a key shaped as a diamond. Very interesting indeed. I love this one.
Luigi. Luigi, can you hear me? Oh, what a relief. That white mist interrupted your signal. You seem to have done some serious work there. Why don't you come on back to the lab, my boy? We can have dinner while we gaze at those ghost paintings. Tonight I'll make an old family recipe. Pickled dandelions with barnacles and a diesel marinade.
That sounds appetizing. Let's do it.
Good job, Luigi. You made it back in one piece. Looks like you got a vacuum full of ghosts there. What do you say we put them through the old ghost portrificationizer?
Let's go ahead and do it. Per usual.
The ghosts are invisible, so we need to press them into visible forms. And presto, turn them into beautiful ghost portraits.
Beautiful Boolossus there with the golden frame. I love it. We have Madame Clairvoya. We have Biff Atlas, looking mighty strong. We have Slim Bankshot, doing what he does best. We have Miss Petunia, still a little angered. We have... Who was that? I don't remember who that was. And then we have the twins, of course. I think the other one was a Nana. Yeah, that was a Nana.
Well, we managed to turn those ghosts back into paintings. Thank you for your help, Luigi.
Area 3, Portrait Ghost once again. Madame Clairvoya, Biff Atlas, Nana. Yeah, she's a little weird looking there. Miss Petunia, Slim Bank Shot, Henry and Orville, and the one and only Boolossus. All golden frames for Area 3. Another area cleared once again. We have now brought our Portrait Ghost total to 16. Very nice indeed. Let's go ahead and add up our collectibles here. As you can see, we have 8 blue stones, we have 6 green stones, and 8 red stones, and then of course 3 silver diamonds. Look at those millions, man. We have now obtained a total of over 63.5 million Gs. Very nice indeed. We are actually over halfway to getting to our final goal post, which of course is 100 million, but we're going to exceed that number, I have a feeling. Just have a little feeling.
Where will you go, Luigi?
Now, we have finally finished off with Area 3, so I think it's time to go back to the gallery to check out our new ghost paintings. As you can see, we have, of course, a Neville here, just kind of sitting pretty like he normally does there in the first corner. There is, of course, Chauncey once again. We've seen him before. It looks like Nana was actually placed on the number 3 slot. I'm a little bit confused by this. Maybe someone watching this can help me understand why that is. I've never really understood that. Madame Clairvoya, of course, looking really good in her golden frame. We have Shivers there, the butler that we got in Area 2. Biff Atlas there, flexing on us on number 16. Very cool. Yeah, I just kind of like going back to the gallery every now and then and checking out the golden frames. And this is pretty cool. And here's Boolossus, once and for all. Captured in the portrait that it was always meant to be in. So, very, very cool. And, you know what? I'm just going to come out and say it. I have never gotten all golden frames in this game. So this is really, really cool. And it's going to be quite an adventure to get the rest of them. So,
Are you done appreciating art for today, Luigi?
I think it's time now to go back to the lab because we still have some stuff to do back at the mansion. So it is time to head on back to Le Casa Haunted Mansion. I don't know. I just kind of came up with that. Let's go ahead and head back to the mansion, and we are actually going to start up Area 4. We have some housekeeping to do before we get into some of the important stuff. Let's take care of that stuff right now. Alright, so arriving back at the mansion, as you can see, I just want to go through my map once again to kind of show off what we've cleared and what we haven't cleared. We have, of course, the giant balcony on the 3rd floor we need to travel to in order to access the next section of the Z Mansion. And it is also the 3rd floor still, so we have still a lot more left to do up there, so we need to go ahead and head up there. But I'm actually going to do one housekeeping thing first, and it is to water the plant. We need to water our gigantic, beautiful plant that, of course, is going to grow again. So if you haven't kind of taken the hint by now, after each area boss, it's important to come back here. This is the most important part, though, because this is the last time you can actually do this. So if you water this thing anytime after beating Boolossus, you will finally receive your final prize. And it is a bunch of gold coins. But what is that beauty right there? That is the first of 2 golden diamonds. Yes, so these things, I cannot remember exactly how much they're worth. I know silver diamonds are worth like millions. I think it's like, I can't remember, there's like 2 million each. Golden diamonds, I believe, are worth even more. There are only 2 to be found in the game. We are going to get the other one eventually later on. But for now, this is the only one we can really get for now, we can really pick up. So yes, like I said, very important to water this plant. This is why I said you have to make sure you come back here at any time that you can after each area boss. But if you go ahead and actually go back into the graveyard, you'll notice it is lit up. You can return here. So if you didn't get that, I think it was a blue stone that was in that pipe, you can actually come back and do that anytime after you beat Bogmire. So it's kind of cool to see this little area lit up. I've never really showed this off on the capture, so it's kind of cool to see it lit up. And it's still part of the mansion. You can see this area, believe it or not, from the balcony on the 2nd floor with the toad on it. It's right outside of the wardrobe room, I do believe. So that's something that's kind of cool. Of course, we're going to burn our head on the torch there. I'm not sure how that worked out. I guess his hair just happened to touch it at the wrong time, the wrong angle, whatever. But now we're going to go ahead and return because, yeah, you actually can do this. So you can kind of return. You weren't able to obviously do that before the first time we encountered that graveyard. So kind of cool there. Just wanted to kind of show it off really quick. But now it is time to head back Yeah, we're gonna make sure we have water, so we have some more plants to water as well. But it is now time to head back up to that balcony on the 3rd floor where we need to go to progress. Just kind of scoping this dining room out, make sure I did not miss any little items here. I will meet you on the 3rd floor balcony. We want to make sure I'm at full health, of course, because you never know what's waiting for us. Yeah, still can't go through that door. That's quite frustrating. We are now back up on the 3rd floor balcony, and as you can see, it is now lit up. And before we actually open up that next door leading into area 4, as you can see, we will find another green colored stone in this plant right here. So yes, it is very important to water all of these plants. There's actually a lot of valuables we can get out here right now. And you can't, well, I think you can still get them after we progress, but it's important to do it right now, and you'll kind of see why. But in this one, right here in the corner, look at that. That is a red diamond. So red diamonds, there are a total of 2 in the game. There's 1 more left to find. We won't be getting that one till later on as well. However, there is a catch with the red diamonds. Unlike the silver and the gold, they are essentially worthless. I think they may be worth like, I don't even know what it is, but it's such a small amount that it's almost like kind of unnecessary to grab them. Since I'm going for 100% completion in this playthrough, I want to of course grab everything I can. But of course, I'm not going to miss the opportunity to pick it up if we can do it. So we have a few more plants out here we're going to water, so I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think there's 1 more colored stone we can get out here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they hide a lot of valuables in these plants. That's why EGAD kind of reminds you, like, up and down, you know, make sure you're watering the plants around the mansion, because, I mean, he's staying true to his word. Like, he has not let us down yet with his advice. Like, we can find a lot of good stuff just by doing a little gardening here outside and on the balcony. So very, very nice. But I'm out of water, so I'm going to go back, refill, and then come back up. See you then. Alright, so actually, now that I'm in this room grabbing water, I forgot to do this. If you suck up this monster poster far enough, long enough, and let go, you will see a little cool thing there. It's a poster of a boo that's revealed saying, "Get out of here." And yeah, it's kind of creepy, but kind of a little cool Easter egg there in case you get bored and you kind of mess around in some of these rooms. So kind of cool. So I guess the washrooms do have purpose after all. And I never pointed this out, but this is a picture of the mansion, I do believe, just sitting here on the first floor hallway. Mario. Alright, so we have now arrived back up on the 3rd floor balcony. We need to finish watering the rest of the plants that we did not get to. I actually think I got everything that I could here that was worth getting, but I think there's still 1 more. Yep, right here it is. Very nice. Another green colored stone. So right off the bat, we just picked up 2 colored stones and another diamond. So just by watering some plants and doing some basic gardening, you know, etiquette. So not too bad, but I think we're just about done. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think these corner plants I actually did not get to. Got a couple gold bars out of the deal as well. So not too bad. Pretty good pickup here. Definitely do not pass this up. Any of the plants, you have to water every single one of them. Trust me. But now I think we're good with the plants. We can kind of move right along. And we are going to go ahead and start progressing into the next section. This is the door that is going to begin Area 4 within the mansion. This is actually the final stretch of the game right here, believe it or not. Let's walk up to it.